We're super excited to have you here. Hey, Danny, I see you over there.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing
I need
tonight?
to
Look
think a
at
little
all
bit.
these amazing, beautiful, smiling faces with their cameras on so that they could welcome you in tonight. Danny, so excited to have you with us. So grateful. I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning over there for you, but
Yes, it is.
you and I are cut from the same mold, my friend, because you do what it takes. I love it. I'm so grateful. We've still got a bunch of people that are coming in, and we just hit 8 o'clock. Everybody's been chatting it up over there, letting us know where they were joining from. We have some guests that are with us tonight. So I'm going to is it okay if I spotlight you while you speak, Danny?
Absolutely. Go ahead, whatever you want.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, you guys, listen, I'm going to play the door greeter over here. So I'm going to be quiet. Danny, I'm going to turn it over to you. You do the introduction and you let everybody know what we're supposed to be doing in here. We're super excited to have you again. Thank you so much. And it's all you, man.
Well, thank you very much, Angel, for this nice introduction. As people might see on the camera, it's pretty late in Europe, as you said already, 3 a.m. in the morning. And before I was almost falling asleep, well, it was about time to log in. I didn't go to bed and wake up what I was intended to do first. At the end, it was a long night, as you know, final day of the month is always qualification day in network marketing. So the fire was on, the heat was on, and I already want to congratulate everyone on this call for a first crazy week in the business because that's what it was for most of you. And I want to welcome the new people, guests that are here for the first time. I don't know how many you are, but let us know in the chat if you are a new person that never has been on a Zinzino presentation. I would love to know where you're from. You can maybe put the city or the state. I have been in the United States before, so I pretty know much where you are at, if it's west or east, in the mid, in the north or in the south. So welcome everyone. And we're going to kick this off. I always start my presentations with this man. I was very lucky during the early 2000s getting to know Paul St. Pilzer, who is a best-selling author and a renowned economist. And he had a couple of books that I was lucky to read, two of the three actually. And he wrote in those books his view about the future of the wellness industry and how he saw it. And he said that people who would educate consumers about services and products that would improve their lives would have gold in their hands. Now, what he actually meant in those books was if you could find or identify a serious problem that would affect a lot of people, find or create a solution that is cost effective on top of it. And with cost effective, I mean affordable for everyone. And you could stay ahead of the curve, meaning the competitors, the colleagues that are coming or the copiers. Well, you would do extremely well. Now, I think when we look back at the last couple of years, 2020, 2021, which all remember, that when we face a serious problem, a global problem, it's different. And when that happened a couple of years ago, we were educated and taught, even up to a subconscious level, to be tested over and over again for our safety. Uh, I am not a vaccinated person, and I wanted to continue to travel during those years. And I think in a time span of 2.5 years, I was tested about 150 times. Now, in the beginning, when they put that little stick in my nose, to do the testing, it felt a little bit awkward. But at the end, it was a habit, it was a routine, it was what was needed to keep me flying, to keep me logging in and getting into hotels and into meeting rooms. Now, I believe people did it because they felt danger, they were scared, they were obligated. And I believe that this will become more and more common, testing yourself in the future. So, this is what I think a new trend that will increase and increase the coming years. Now, the question you might ask yourself, is what is the new problem we are facing? What have you discovered, and which is that solution you're talking about? Well, let me try to answer that through three different questions. What mega trend are we creating? How can you help us out? And why now? Now, for the people who don't know me, I think Angel did a great job introducing me. I'm Danny Wanzeele. My name is a little bit strange for English-speaking people. I'm from Belgium. My wife, who you see on the picture next to me, is from Venezuela. She's a lawyer. Nobody's perfect. Together, we have 46 years of experience in this lovely industry. I'm 34 years a full-time networker. I speak 5 languages. And I have been able to travel to more than 90 countries during my career so far, and I love traveling. And during those years, those decades, I was doing presentations and trainings like the one tonight, now through Zoom, before in hotel rooms all over the world. I have done literally thousands and thousands and thousands of presentations. And together with our teams, we did hundreds of millions in sales. And I'm very happy that tonight I can talk to you about Zinzino. Zinzino is a world market leader for test-based nutritional supplements. What that means, you will discover during this presentation. But what is important to understand is that we are a global health and wellness company from Scandinavia. For the people that don't know geographics too much, Scandinavia is in the north of Europe. This company was founded by Hilde and Örjan Zali about 20 years ago. And today we are represented in 4 continents. As you can see on the map, we have our offices, we have warehouses, we have production facilities, we have laboratories in many, many, many countries. We are fully open for business in 51 countries today, and we are sending products to more than 100 countries. Now, what is special to this company is that in the 20 years of existing, it only knew growth. We have been growing for 20 years non-stop. Last year, we did a little bit more than 200 million euros in sales, so that's a little bit higher in dollars. We are a stock listed company. We are listed on the Nordic Nasdaq. So we are fully transparent because when you're a stock listed company, your numbers are public, your accounting are public. Every 3 months, every year, there's a report for the shareholders that is public. So no marketing hype, no marketing blah, blah, blah. We all know that in our industry, not only distributors, but also companies tend to exaggerate their numbers in the positive. Well, here they are what they are. And the fact that we have such great numbers and that we are growing so fast today has all to do with the big vision of the company. The facts today are clear. More than 500 million people consume already omega-3 supplements, and more than 1 billion people consume vitamins. Now, if you know a little bit about omega-3, you know, and this is not our company saying it, but you for sure have read or heard something that omega-3 fatty acids reduce premature death risk up to 85%. Going from test-based, nutrition is a must. Everybody else is guessing or is telling you a marketing slogan to consume. Well, we don't do that anymore. We're going to test you up front. We're going to give you our products. We're going to test you later on to show you that the products work. And I think that this is the new trend. Now, by 2050, Zinzino want to have tested 1 billion people on the planet when it comes to the balance between omega-6 and omega-3. And today, after more than 1.5 million people being tested, 97% of the population fails their first omega-6 3 test. Incredible. 97%. Now, if you pay attention, this is an enormous number. This is an opportunity at its best, and it's not that Zinzino does the testing, the analysis. It's an independent laboratory that will confirm the test result based, on a scientific blood test. When I ran into Zinzino literally 2 years ago now, the concept sounded the first time they explained it to me, very logic. I'm more than 30 years active in the nutritional space. I started in 1992 with a weight loss company. I have ever since then been involved in supplements, weight loss, muscle, sports vitamins. That's the thing I love. And when they explained it to me, I said, wow, that's logic. Why haven't I thought before about that? Being tested before and after. That's makes sense. I was actually angry I hadn't thought about it myself to do it that way. But Zinzino discovered the problem, the deficiency in omega-3. Well, it's not actually Zinzino alone who discovered the problem because in 2017, 2018, the World Health Organization, WHO, already sent some scientists and some doctors around the world, to go test people because they saw that the increasing deficiency in omega-3 would really become a pandemic in the future. It would create more than a serious health problem. It would also create an economic problem because health security can't be paid anymore if we don't take care of the people preventively. Now, my question was, okay, Zinzino discovered this problem. They have apparently created an incredibly good product that resolves the problem. But if they are the ones also that do the blood testing themselves, well, everything today can be manipulated. Now, I was very happy to hear that it was an independent laboratory taking care of the scientific blood test. Now, 97% of the worldwide population needs a solution, and you can help us to bring the solution to them. Our target as a company is to test 1.5 to 2% of each country's population, so we need much more help. Now, you might think, okay, I understood it, I got it. It's an enormous opportunity, but hey, everybody knows what to do today when it comes to health. Well, a recent study in Germany done, and I'm not talking 20, 30 years ago, I'm talking right now, a recent study done in Germany shows that 75% of all adults can't properly understand or apply health information. You know, this in countries with free access to doctors, digital info, and education. The problem isn't access, it's understanding. In most countries, even with doctors, medicine, and info at our fingertips, millions struggle to stay healthy. And we should ask ourselves the question why. Now, it's also because most people only start to think about health when they walk into a hospital or their doctor's practice. It should start with understanding our body, recognizing signals early, making sane, healthy decisions day after day. But there is a lot of misinformation, and if today you're connected to social media, there are digital hypes that are true, there are digital hypes that are untrue. People are confused. Now, I would say that the system was never built to empower us, it was built to manage us. And we should start small, keep the info simple, and test. And the test helps you to read your body. It doesn't diagnose, it educates and informs without guessing. But most people today, after my first 10 minutes of introduction, might even think, well, what is an omega 6? And what is an omega 3? And what is the balance between omega 6 and 3 all about? Well, I asked myself that same question. I heard of omega 3s. I was actually consuming omega 3s. I was buying them at a competitive company because the company where I was involved in earlier didn't sell omega 3. So I started to look it up, and to make it a little bit more easy for all of you, I put a couple of pictures on there. If you are somebody that is consuming more from the left, I would say, bread, lovely cheeses, those sausages, red meat, you name it, well, you're probably eating a little bit more omega 6. If you are consuming more on the picture on the right, has a little bit more color, looks a little bit more healthy, to be honest, you might be in good terms with omega 3 consumption. Now, the history of omega 6 3 imbalance actually shows us that early on, during the 1850s, 1900s, even up to World War II, 1945, 1950, we were in pretty good shape. You know, the balance between the two, which should be one on one omega 6 for one omega 3, or let's say three omega 6s for one omega 3, which is today also known as a pretty good score. Well, they were in balance. Our food was full of vitamins, minerals, beta glucans, fibers, healthy fats, and everything was in good balance of omega 6 and omega 3. But when you look from the 60s on, you know, our way of consuming changed. We didn't create the food ourselves anymore. We didn't have our proper garden anymore. The supermarket started to appear. Gross distribution started to appear, massive stores, and food became low in key nutrients, high in sugar, full of empty calories, low in fibers, an enormous imbalance between essential fatty acids, omega 6 and omega 3. I could explain it, you know, sometimes you eat something and an hour later you're hungry again. And I'm sure that some of you had that feeling like I sometimes had. Now, today, if you look at it, it started to increase to 4 to 1, 7 to 1. Then what we call the danger zone, 15 to 1. Well, that's now, you're not even the average anymore. If we look at Europe, we have an average when we test people of around 25 to 1. And that's crazy. Now, what we recommend people is to find your number, you know, take the test, do the blood test. It's an easy test you can do at home. You know, start using our solution product, the Balance Oil. And most people say, yeah, but I'm going to wait first for my test report, which arrives around 2 weeks later, because I might have a good score, so I don't need your product. Well, if 97% of the worldwide population is out of balance, you might be more likely with the 97% than with the 3%. Today, I have more than 20,000 customers with our team on subscription. And so far, I had two people, not three, two people who had a good test from the start. All the rest had a deficiency. And what happens then, once you're taking our products, well, after 4 months, we're going to retest you again to show what we do really works. Now, I spoke about that testing. The test is done by Vitas Analytical Services. This is one of the renowned laboratories in the world. It's based in Oslo, next to the University of Oslo. And it worked together with some of the most famous institutions, clinics, hospitals, research center. You can see Harvard University, Oxford, and Cambridge, to name a few. This means quality. And what they do is an independent, neutral, anonymous testing. When you open the box of your test, you know, there's a little card inside with a code, a unique code. This is how you will register an alert for your test. So when the test is ready, the result, you can go download your report. But Vitas only knows you as 2 drops of blood. You know, they don't know if you're a man or a woman. They don't know your age. They don't know if you're African American, if you're Caucasian. They don't know if you're from Asia. They have no clue. The test is completely independent. And then it's just waiting about your result. And I am consuming 40 years of nutrition. I started when I was at sports university as a young kid. I pretty fast understood that, you know, when you're doing 32 hours of intense sports every week, you know, being a soccer player, having sports as my main, you know, direction in school, I knew that with just food, that wouldn't do it for me. So I got exposed to protein shakes and vitamins when I was 15, and I never stopped using them because I became a distributor in this industry. And if you would see our kitchen today, there's a closet full with healthy products, you know, organic stuff that we buy at bio stores and natural stores. We order them online. And, you know, we feel great. This year, I'm going to be 60 years old. I did a testing 3 years ago when I was 57. My metabolic age was 46 at that time. Now, after 2 years on the Zinzino products, I'm going to be 60. I did a test 3 months ago again, and my metabolic age at this moment is 44. So going up in age, I'm going back metabolically. So I must be doing something good. But when I did my first test at Zinzino and my result came out, I was completely unbalanced. And it was a shock. I couldn't believe it because I thought absolutely I was going to be with the 3%. I thought my score is going to be good with all those healthy products I'm consuming since 40 years. I'm eating healthy. I'm from Belgium, by the way, the country of fries and mayonnaise and waffles and great chocolate and good beer. So there are a few things that, hurdles on the way to stay healthy and in shape, I admit. And I won't, cancel those products taking it. But still, I thought I was going to have a pretty good score. 18-1, I was in shock. It was almost all red, except my arachidonic acidity in my body, which explained that if I would have, an inflammation, I recover very fast from it. But what was even more scary was when you see the details in the report, and the report is about 21 pages. There's a lot of recommendations also in food, and I'm showing you my own results. So it's not private anymore now because I have been using it in presentation. But what scared me even more was when I looked at the omega-3 details, the EPA value. I was minus 84%. Now, if it would have been 10 or 15%, maybe I would have said, yeah, okay, it isn't that bad. 18-1, it's not 25. It's still acceptable. And my scores are good, but minus 84% on EPA. EPA is often associated with cardiovascular health. And once you become 50 plus, well, they say you need to pay attention to that. Now, it can help reduce inflammation in the body if your levels are okay. And studies even suggest that it may play a role in reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease and some mental health conditions like depression if you're if you're balanced. Now, most people don't know what the consequences are of being out of balance. What are the consequences when your omega-6 3 is out of balance, when you have a deficiency of omega-3? Well, first of all, it affects the cells in our body, their functioning. You have a reduced functioning of your body cells. It means that you will take in food slower, not as fast as it should be, and you don't get the toxins out of your cells as fast as it should be. So, in simple words, I could say you're actually poisoning yourself because you're keeping toxic things in your cells more and longer than it should be. Now, we're also talking reduced brain function. We're talking reduced heart function. You might lose your hair at a younger age. All those things have been linked to a deficiency in omega-3 or an imbalance between omega-6-3. Your skin loses elasticity. You will show signs of aging faster than other people. Reduced organ function, joint and muscle pain. Now, can you believe that this has everything to do with an imbalance between omega-6-3 and nobody told you about? I'm 34 years in this industry, and until I discovered 2 years ago Zinzino, I had never heard of the balance between omega-6-3. I had heard of omega-3. I was consuming them from time to time. Apparently, it didn't have any effect on my cells, what I was consuming. So I was taking it in. I was spending a lot of money without results. My sponsor today would call it, expensive pee, because when it's not absorbed, it gets out somewhere. And when you're using $100 a month, more or less in nutrition, and you don't have an effect of it, well, it's wasting money. Now, we have a solution, and the solution is called our balance oil. And the secret in our balance oil are polyphenols. Polyphenols serve a vital function in the protection of the organism from external stimuli and in eliminating reactive oxygen species, which are the instigators of several illnesses. Polyphenols, you will find them in certain kinds of tea, dark chocolate, fruits, vegetables, and they really influence human health in a positive way. They have been associated with a decreased risk, actually, of myocardial infarction, stroke and diabetes. So it is important to consume these polyphenols. But today when you go out there and you look at products, mostly the polyphenols are deconnected from the omega-3s. And that's why most don't work. Now, that's the secret. That's the invention of what Zinzino has brought to the market. They reconnected, as it should be, the omega-3s with the polyphenols. Now, we have a full health protocol. I'm talking especially for the United States now and Canada, as there are also people probably on the call from Colombia, Puerto Rico, Mexico. In some of the countries, not all products are yet available. You just need to see what is available with you. But we have a full health protocol that starts with the balance oil, bringing your body back into balance. But if you, for example, have a very bad test on the gut, because we test 5 markers: omega-3 deficiency, the brain, the gut, the acidity, and your immunity. Now, if you have a bad test on the gut, well, we have a prebiotics that is important, for maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. There are specialist plant fibers that nourish the good bacteria already in the colon. It's not a probiotics, it's a prebiotics. And for people that are too low on energy, they sleep bad, their immunity is very low, so they're not resistant. I had that, I do sports, and when you come out of the shower with wet hair, you catch immediately a cold, for example. Sometimes you don't have that, and sometimes, boom, immediately a cold. Well, it means that you're, sensible, not that your resistance is low. Well, we have a multi-vitamin cocktail of 22 unique vitamins, mineral, and phytonutrients that will help you counterbalance your modern diet. And then on top, we add a product. Step 1, 2, 3 are clear, but I would recommend this product to everybody. Viva Plus is a nootropics. They call it smart drugs in the USA. In Europe, we give it another name because drugs hasn't the same translation over here as in the United States, as medicine. We call it cognitive enhancers. Those are substances that improve cognitive functions. If you have a job where you need to think and make heavy decisions, or you're a student that is going to these exams, final exams, where you need to use your memory, creativity, your motivation, well, Viva Plus, these nootropics are incredible. And in Europe, and I saw that this product is now available also in the United States, we have another unique start product. We call it phycocyanin. Phycocyanin has been studied for over 40 years. Now, we cultivate our phycocyanin through photobioreactors, ensuring a pure, uncontaminated product. We take it out of A3 grown spirulina. Phycocyanin is 20 times stronger than vitamin C and vitamin E, and ours has zero contamination of microplastics and heavy metals. And the combination of this super product together with the balance oil is incredible. Once you start taking this, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you will feel the difference. You will see it on many things in your body. Now, it isn't a surprise that also the sports industry, professional sports, have discovered, the consumption of omega-3. What we all know is that intense physical activity can induce inflammation in the body. You don't need to be a soccer player or a football player with heavy hits or a boxer, to have inflammation. And omega-3 intake reduces inflammation, and it promotes the synthesis of cartilage, which is crucial for maintaining joint integrity and mobility. Very important in sports. So when you start to take omega-3, good quality omega-3, and you keep the balance between omega-6 and 3 intact, you will see that your endurance improves, you will perform better, you burn fat faster, so it's easier to stay on your weight. And in certain disciplines in sports, it's very important because they fight in some categories, and you hear it sometimes before the national championships or Olympics or world championships. People need to lose weight fast because otherwise they can't compete in their category. It improves reaction time, also very important in certain sports. But what is even more important, we all know that food is important, feeding our body for intensive sports. We know that sleep is important. But today, recovery is also very important. And with the balance between omega 6 3, at its best, you will recover much faster than anybody else. And today it's all about getting extras in the margins, they call it, that extra 0.5%, that extra 1% that they look for. Well, they have found it in omega 3. Now, I am not married to science or medical advice. I listen to my body since many, many, many years, so I don't swear too much with just medical advice. I have been looking what is out there. I prefer to read it myself, so I went on databases such as the Mayo Clinic, PubMed is another one, medical publications. Some parts are open for the public, other parts you can ask for a password, a protected zone entrance when you are a therapist or a doctor. But what is out there to read about omega-3 is mind-boggling. I can actually recommend, and I don't have royalties, by the way, on that book, but I can recommend the omega-3 effect as a book. It's where they take you through each body system, such as the brain, the heart, the joints, the skin, your immune system, and they show in each body part how essential omega-3 is, what it does. Paul Clayton, one of the best 100 doctors in the world, has written a couple of books on pharmaconutrition, where he explains the importance. He's now a member of our scientific committee. And it's amazing when you read those books, you really start to look at food in a different way. Now, I told you that our report is 21 pages. It's analyzes, it's showing you where you are. You can download it in any language. And it gives you some tips and tricks. What foods should you avoid? What foods should you consume more? And I have people asking me, yeah, Danny, but what if I want to do it with food and don't take your balance oil? What if I want to really pay attention from now on? As soon as I have my report, my test number, my score, I'm going to pay attention and I'm going to eat mainly omega-3 food and avoid the omega-6s. Well, let me give you an idea. I spoke to you about this multivitamin cocktail of 22 ingredients that will help you with energy. You will sleep better. It will have an impact on your immunity in a positive way. If you take 4 tablets a day of that product, it's called Extend Plus. And let's say you would want to do that in food. Well, you need to consume all of this every single day. Now, I'm talking, carrots, spinach, tomatoes, 100 grams, half a kilo bananas, 2.5 kilo grapefruit, 500 grams of cauliflower. Impossible to eat that every single day, or 4 tablets. Now, the other thing is the price. I haven't even spoken about the price. That Extend Plus vitamin product costs about $1.5 a day. Not even the price of a coffee. Try to buy the food you see on the screen, all of that for $1.50 a day. Impossible. Now, the other thing is also that would help you to increase your omega-3 for sure, if you pay attention. But then you also need to skip all of this. I'm doing a lot of presentations in Belgium and Holland, and in Holland they love peanut butter on their sandwich. In Belgium we love fries. We're world champions in mayonnaise. When we travel around the world and we go into a restaurant, we don't want ketchup, we want mayonnaise, and they immediately know we're from Europe. But that's omega-6. You need to stop eating pizzas. That hamburger, forget it. A piece of cake, all the things we love, we should immediately stop eating them. Because as soon as you start eating those, your omega-6s jump again. And all the effort you did with the omega-3s was useless. Now, those are the facts today. What I'm going to show you now is the opportunity. But ask yourself the question, where else will you find the potential of 97% of all the people concerned? 97% of the world population. And when you do something today to to make ends meet, to earn money for your family, I think the higher the potential, the better it is. Now, we are 2025, we're approaching 2026. And, when you do an activity, digital marketing platforms are important. So, Zinzino took care of the newest technology. We have sales funnel systems. We have hundreds of hours of videos to publish, very professional to tease people on social media. But we also have training videos on our zinzinoplay.com platform. And they are translated in, I think today, 25, 26 languages. You can work from apps on your phone to the internet. It is amazing. I must say that since I got started 34 years ago, 1992, things have changed, because when I started, there was no internet and there were no mobile phones. It was old school. And today it's funny how you can combine actually what we used to do with modern technology. Now, before we explain you our compensation plan, or at least a part of it, let me give you some words that are important. You will hear me speak about credits. Every one of our products has a certain amount of credits. Most people know that in their companies as volume points, or bonus points. Excuse me. It's our Zinzino internal currency on which you get paid commission. Now, PCP stands for personal customer points. When you enroll a customer yourself, that takes a product on subscription, well, every product on subscription gives you one PCP. So if you have a customer that uses our balance oil on subscription, that's one PCP point. If a customer takes 4 products on subscription, like the full health protocol and Viva Plus, 4 products, it's 4 PCP. Now, ECB stands for enrollment credit bonus, meaning each new enrollment package has a value in credits, and they are double in the first month. So that's new orders from new starting people, ECB. And RCB are recurring credit bonus points. Those stand for all the other orders. Subscription, people keep on using products, those are RCB. Now, when you are RCB qualified, that means your value will double. Once you pass the qualification of RCB, all recurring credits will be doubled at the end of the month, which means it will have a huge impact on your income check, the more customers you have in your team. Now, Zinzino is perfectly balanced between, I would say, direct sales, network marketing, social retailing, influencer marketing, affiliate marketing. There are so many words out there today for what we do. Well, we are a combination of all of them. We have very ambitious goals. We want to finish this year with 1 million customers on subscription. Now, 1 million customers doesn't mean distributors consuming. Those are separate. I'm talking real customers, people that pay full retail price because they value the product, they know it works, and they want to keep on using it. Now, our target is 10 years from now to have 25 million customers on subscription. When we will hit that number, we will be the biggest company in the world in network marketing, because the average balance oil wherever you go around the world is around $45 to $50 for a monthly consumption. So 20 million to 25 million, that means we would do 10 billion in sales yearly. And today, there is not any single company that big anymore, in our space. But we aim much higher. We want to get 100 million customers on subscription. And the way we want to achieve this is by testing the population in each country. Now, we have started in some countries 12 years ago. Norway was the country where it all started. Our founders are from there. They are the first country that reached more than 1.5% of the population has been tested there. But when we look at the United States or Mexico or Colombia, I've been speaking to Colombians this afternoon, we're at 0.001%. Nothing has been done. And that's why we need a lot of help. And that's why we also have such a, appealing compensation plan. You can make money building customers, retailing. You can make money earning commissions on the efforts of your team, networking. You can do a combination of two. And we have around 10 different bonuses to pay you. Now, the customer career plan in the beginning might look a little bit abstract for many people. I wouldn't say it's complex. It's not difficult. It just takes time to get through it. What you see on the top are those PCP points I've been talking about, your personal customer points. So the more they increase, the more you have brought in yourself customers and you increase your point value, the higher your commission gets when you bring a customer in the first month. Because we pay you commission on a subscription the first month, which is 10 to 30%. But from the second month on, we pay you bonuses on customers inside our full compensation plan. Now, you also see on the bottom, the higher the increase of PCP points, the more extras you will get. At 25 PCP, you get a refund of an ultimate pack. I will explain that in a few slides. But when you hit 100 PCP points in 1 month, you will get a bonus of 10,000 euros, which is about, $1,200. Now, $12,000 paid in 25 installments. So you need to keep that 100 PCP level up. If you do 200 PCP points a month and you keep it up, well, you're going to be traveling with the directors in the company. Every year, the directors go 7 days to an exotic location. Last March, we were in Phuket, Thailand for 7 days, all paid, all inclusive. The whole hotel booked by the company. There were 650 people. Now, March coming, we're going to Bali for a 7-day trip, all inclusive. And there's probably going to be 850 to 900 people on that trip. Now, I was in Phuket and I have been speaking to people in our company that don't have any team. They just work customers. Some are therapists, some are doctors, some are in the health and wellness industry, some are working in the fitness industry, and they love making customers. And every year they have a free holiday with Zinzino. Now today, I don't tell you anything new if I tell you that social media has become very important in everything we do. Some people want to become an influencer or work just as an affiliate. That meaning they show you the way and the rest is done by the company. Well, if you show the way where people can be subscribed or ask for products or buy products, you're going to make, like I said, 10 to 30% on the first month when a customer comes in. If a customer doesn't subscribe himself, but he buys products every single month from time to time in your e-commerce store, because you will have a website, an e-commerce boutique yourself to promote where the customer will pay retail price, well, you will always get that margin. But we also have people that come to us that say, yeah, but I'm a therapist. My patients come to my cabinet every month and I prefer to sell them the products. Well, then the margins can run up to 60%. So 60% retail margin if you do all the work yourself. That is meaning buying the product and selling it to your customers. So there is money to be made retailing product. Now, since 2020, 2021, that pandemic where we're talking about a little bit earlier in our presentation, people request often that shipments are free. I remember that during those 2 years, the big online stores such as Temu, Alibaba, Amazon, eBay, they were fighting to steal the customers from each other. And I remember ordering product, and I suppose they had to come sometimes from America or from China. I ordered product $10 and they were delivered for free. And I was wondering myself, how is this possible? They don't mind to lose money, but Zinzino cannot lose money. So, we created a customer rewards program where delivery costs are recovered. We have created something that is called Zino Cash for people that subscribe to the product, and you recover your cost of shipping in Zino Cash. You can accumulate those points in your back office as a customer and swap them for free products. Because those containers, to be honest, if they're going on a truck, a train, an airplane, or a boat, they need to be paid. But, for loyal customers, we have figured out how we can serve you better. So free shipment for you, you recover it. And every 4 months, you get an extra test for free. So you will be tested every 4 months again on charges of the company to check yourself, stay healthy, and stay in balance. That's the customer career plan. Now, the partner career plan has a lot of steps. The higher you climb, the higher the average income, of course. And it all starts with step one. We have what we call, onboarding packages, starter kits. Now, you can choose whatever you want. I think in the USA, as in Europe, there's 20, 30 different ones. I think you have even more than we have because Zinzino took over a couple of companies recently. And those American companies, their products for the moment are only available in the USA. And we don't have access to those products yet in Europe. But we have basic packages, which those are the smaller starter kits. You can see they are $325. They contain one test and products. We have advanced kits, 3 tests. They are $825. And we have the biggest best pack, and this is our best-selling pack, it's the Ultimate Partner Kit. It's $1,150. But most important is there are 10 tests inside, 10 blood tests. And I told you already when I spoke about the customer career plan, when you hit 25 PCP in a month, well, if you do that in your 12th month of activity inside Zinzino, so you are working and building up customers a whole year, and if you hit 25 points at the end of the year, 12th month, and you have 125 credits linked to those products, because each product has also credits, well, you're going to get a refund. You're going to get entirely the $1,150 back. Now, let me clarify this. You will have the choice, because I discovered this myself in Europe. You can or ask for a refund and get your $1,150 back, or Zinzino will propose you 2 ultimate packs for free, which is about $7,000 in retail value. And most people take the products because they said, wow, I prefer to have 7,000 retail value than 1,150 in my bank. Now, step 2 is to activate your own subscription as a distributor. Most people activate themselves to use all the back office, the apps on smartphones, and 1 bottle of oil. The first time you will pay $79, $80. And I can tell you, I started in Zinzino September 2023. That's the only month I paid that subscription, because I activated also step 3, which is Z4F, Zinzino for free. And if you activate Zinzino for free and you start bringing in customer points, clients, you're going to consume your products for free. So you don't need to pay your subscription anymore. And we do this for existing distributors, but we also do this for customers. So if customers say, yeah, but hey, I would love to consume that product for free, well, just bring in a few customers. If you refer a few customers to us, you might have, thanks to Zinzino for free, your own consumption completely free. Now, our compensation plan is a binary plan. And let me clarify one thing. I am 34 years in this industry, and up to 2 years ago, I was anti-binary. I had been studying binary plans. I wasn't a fan of it. I loved unilevels. I loved the old plans, the stair-step breakaway. Matrices I didn't really like neither. But to me, what was really important was that to find a plan that is fair, balanced between what the company makes and what the distributor, the field, makes. And I had the impression that at all the binary plans that I had been looking in over the years, that they were there to enrich the company and not the field. Well, Zinzino is completely different. But let me just, before we dig into that, just remind you of something. I just told you that the biggest starter pack, which cost $1,150, is free when you meet certain criteria after 1 year. Your own consumption is free thanks to Zinzino for free if you bring in a couple of customers. And if you have customers consuming, they also get their expenses for shipping, reimbursed through Zino Cash. So we created a loyalty program for customers. We made it easy for partners because at the end, we pay you your marketing tools, which is the biggest pack after 1 year back, if you just do a minimum. Now, so what we propose to people It's all about bringing this opportunity around the world and duplicate. And we handle a system that is called in binary 2+4, but we also help people through a fast start campaign. And the first 120 days, we ask you, if you're really motivated and you want to do the work, to follow a few steps. The first 30 days, when you join Zinzino, we ask you to do 4 customer points, 4 PCP. When you do that, you get $115 bonus. You are qualified Q team, and you also get 10% on the billing amount of those customer points. So the billing of the customer, you will get 10% margin. If you do within the first 60 days, you sign up 2 people like yourself, preferable with an ultimate pack, with the biggest pack. Well, you will get a fast start bonus of $460. 60 days you have to do that. 90 days is help those people, each of them, to find 2. 2 plus 4. If you do that, if they do that, you'll get another $1,380 fast start bonus. And then if at the end, if you increase from 4 to 10 customer points, you have exactly 4 months to do that, 120 days. Well, you get another $172 bonus. So in total, just running through the fast start process, and this is the most important thing you need to understand and you need to learn when you get involved in those business, you will make more than $2,000 fast start bonus. Now, it's like learning to drive a car. The dashboard. In your back office, you will see those donuts. In the beginning, they're red. You need to color them green. On top, you will see the ultimate date you need to reach it, the target. And below the donuts, you will see what is missing. And when you move your mouse over the donuts, you will, when you touch the red, it will tell you what you're missing, what to do. So it's as easy as reading the dashboard from your car, speeding, when you have to speed, when you're in gear, which gear. You just need to read it. You don't need to understand it in the beginning. You will learn the plan as when you start working it. Now, visually, it looks like that. You sign up, you take a starter pack, you activate Zinzino for free. You do your first 4 PCP points, you get the Q team bonus, you sign up 2 people with an ultimate pack, $460 bonus. They sign up each 2, $1,318, and then when you increase, from 4 to 10 PCP points, you have another $172 bonus. In total, we're talking a little bit over $2,000, but there's more. Because doing the fast start will qualify you not only the first position, which is bronze, it will help you to qualify also silver, and some months even gold. Well, you will also have a team bonus, the binary team bonus, and you will have a mentor bonus. And the total amount will be somewhere between $2,500 to $3,000. Now, we told you can do that in 4 months, 120 days. If you want to do it in 60 days or 30 days, feel free. Angel said, 4 months, that doesn't sound good enough. I'm going to do it in 4 days. So she completed the whole fast start with new people before the database of the company was migrated. She did it with external people, in 4 days. So if you want to make between $2,500 and $3,000 in 4 days, some people are doing it, some have done it, and many will do it from today on. Now, it's a step-by-step process, and it's incredible. It motivates people. So we now teach most of our people through our trainings to do it at least within the first 30 days. I know that we just closed the first week for many people in the company who are new. They will have an incredible first week check. It will be very motivating. And our career plan is incredible. For me, the building block is that silver position. Because when you run people through the fast start, they qualify as silver, and it's all about duplicating silvers. Because if you have 4 silvers in your organization, you will become an executive. And by the way, we have already some executives, people that did it in the first week. Well, when you are an executive, you will get a €200, which is about $230 phone bonus. Today, that bonus is double. It's $460 for the moment, the phone bonus. If you qualify 4 people as executive, so 4 silvers make you executive, 4 executives qualify you as a diamond. Well, if you are a diamond, we're also going to give you, $1,150 car bonus every month, as long as you stay diamond. And when you keep climbing, when you are a director, like I told you, we have a yearly holiday for you, together with the people that have 200 customer points. So, or you do 200 customer points, or you are a director and you have a free exotic trip every year. And the plan keeps giving, because when you reach ambassador level, there's a second holiday per year. And what I call the cherry on the cake, and which is so unique, I was speaking to some high profile leaders today, is when you hit the rank of president inside Zinzino, you get a stock option plan. You get shares from the company. And those are not shares like we hear talking today a lot in many scams out there. These are real shares of a company listed on NASDAQ. This is money. Every next step you do from president on, it starts with 200,000 euros of shares. The next step is 300,000 euros of shares. And I'm talking euros because I haven't done in my head the conversion to dollars. The next step is $500,000 in shares. And then each president star extra, you get €1,000,000 in shares extra. Zinzino is a company that offers you co-ownership. And I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. Today, my wife and myself, we are shareholders in the company. We're amongst the 100, 150 top leaders within the company already within 2 years. And I couldn't, think on being part of a program anymore without being an owner, without knowing the numbers, without knowing the facts of the company. It gives such a different feeling when you know that you're working for a company. You not only make money, just commissions, selling the product, but as a leader, and you have to work for that, you also get dividend paid every year. That's another thing. And the share value increases. So you are really creating wealth. Now, duplicating the silver positions is what's going to lift you to the higher positions. Now, today we spoke only about 5 bonuses. The cash bonus on customers, 10 to 30%. Fast start bonus, the 120-day program. You can do it faster. The phone bonus when you're executive. The car bonus when you're diamond. And the travel bonus when you're director. But there is much more. We have a rank up bonus. Every time you increase rank, we have 3 rank up bonus positions. In total, the rank up bonus goes to $345,000. We have a cap bonus. That's not a taxi bonus, by the way. It's a customer acquisition bonus of the team. The more customers you have in your team, the more monthly payment bonuses you get. We have a volume bonus for the top leaders, an overall volume on all the credits that are done in your team. We have a binary plan. And let me enlighten, we do trainings on this, but the Dean bonus is very special. In most binary plans, what do they tell you? Oh, you get paid on the weak leg. The fast leg, they call it, or the spillover leg. We're not going to pay you on that leg. We're going to pay you on the inferior leg, the one that is producing the lowest number. I think that is unfair. Well, in Zinzino, you get paid on both sides, of the binary. Balanced 1/3 to 2/3, you can earn up to 15%. You're paid 10% or 15% on balanced volume on 2 sides, not on the weakest leg. And then we also have the mentor bonus. When you help move people up, and by the way, all credits count here in Zinzino, all volume counts. You cannot block, you cannot boycott anybody. It's not because somebody underneath you grows faster that it is a negative for you. No, the contrary. You will earn more money. This system is really ingenious. There's still a month, the month of October, to qualify for the next director trip, which is in Bali. The hotel is already leased. There's still a month to go for people that want to go director. But let me take you back to the beginning of my presentation. Polls in Pills have said, identify a serious problem that affects a lot of people. Well, 97% of the world population being imbalanced is a pretty big number. Now, we help people to get back in balance within 120 days, in 4 months. That's incredible. Now, it works for 95% of the people, and you might ask, oh, who are the 5% where it doesn't work? Well, guys like me, I didn't pay attention how much product I needed to take. I was completely gone in all the explanation. I didn't pay attention. So I didn't take enough oil. I'm 1 meters 90. I weigh 95 kilos. I have my age. So I had to take a little bit more product. I didn't get it. And on top of that, well, I'm a special one. I'm a little bit of a rebellion. I said, I'm going to test the system. I'm not going to stop eating fries and mayonnaise. I'm going to even actually eat a little bit more to see if this really works. I'm not going to stop drinking a good beer. I'm going to eat those lovely chocolates and I'm going to eat a spaghetti bolognese or a pizza because I want to test the system. Well, for me, after 4 months, I was not 3-1 in balance. I was 6-1. It took me another 4 months before I was in balance, 8 months, but I didn't care. I'm now taking 2 years the products, and like I told you, I'm going to be 60 at the end of this month. Halloween is my birthday, the 31st of October, and my metabolic age is 44 today. So I feel pretty good about it. Now, it's also about the price. $45 for a bottle of Balance Oil on subscription, that's a no-brainer. For your health, with everything I explained you, what is linked to being out of balance, what are the health issues you can get, and how fast, $45 is a fair price. It's actually a cheap price. And we are ahead 10 years with the competition. I would say we're even light years ahead with the competition. So that's where we are. Now, for people in network marketing, I spoke to you about potential. Those books shown us 20, 25 years ago what the future would be. And I must say, he was pretty accurate. He's pretty spot on. He's maybe not Nostradamus yet, but he saw what was happening and he predicted it right. But for people living today, and I always have it here besides me, I was very lucky a couple of years ago to find this book here, Blue Ocean Strategy. And I can recommend it to every one of you. By the way, I don't have royalties on that book. I don't make money, recommending it to you. But it shows you the difference between the red ocean marketing and blue ocean marketing. The red ocean marketing companies are companies that try to outperform their rivals to grab a greater share of existing demand. And as the market space gets crowded, profits and growth are reduced. Products become commodities, leading to cutthroat or bloody competition, hence the terms red ocean, bloody oceans. That's where most of the companies are. Now, Zinzino is a true blue ocean marketing company. In blue oceans, competition is irrelevant because the rules of the game are waiting to be set. Blue ocean is an analogy to describe the wider, the deeper potential to be found in unexplored market space. 97% of the people are out of balance. They just don't know it yet. It's up to us to show them and to do the testing. There are no limits. The limits are only inside of our head. And we can make this happen. And I can tell you to everybody that there is a seat reserved for you, in this, incredible company that is moving fast. I think we're number 2 in the world of network marketing when it comes to momentum. It's up to you to claim it. I'm sure for all the new guests here on the call, if you have more questions, reach out to the person that invited you tonight. Reach out to some of the leaders. You can connect with us on social media. We will answer all your questions so that you can make a proper decision. That having said, it's now just 4 o'clock in the morning in Belgium, where I live. I'm going to give the word back to Angel, who organized this call for today, who was your guest host today. And I hope to see you on many more presentations with a lot of prospects to come. Let's make the month of October the biggest month so far ever in your history, and the world can change completely. I joined this company with my wife 2 years ago. We took the decision to start all over again from zero, absolutely from zero, to start working with new people, some people we hadn't spoken to in 10, 20 years. We've built an enormous business because this is different. This is a different company. This is a home for many networkers and people to come that are looking for a good opportunity. It's not based on hype. It's based on real transparent number. There's a lot of clarity in this company. And that's what we need in our industry. Angel, back to you, and thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Oh my goodness, Danny, thank you so much. What every time I hear you speak, I learn something else, and I'm very excited for some of the things that you've shared tonight to be able to dig in. Again, folks, like Danny said, we want you to get back to the person that invited you to this. Let them connect with them. Let them answer your questions. They can get you access to more information on the products or the becoming a partner with us. Now, let me just say, Danny, we are doing another Super Saturday Express Start Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You guys put that in your date. Save the date. It's not a baby shower, not a bridal shower, not a wedding, but it's a very important date and time. It's 2 p.m. on East, 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. I will get the flyer made. I should have already had it. I will get the link put out there in the group pages and in the chats tomorrow. Make sure that you make time for that. We're going to review getting started, setting you up for the to make the most money the fastest, and it's with our Express Start. So for those of you that has joined us tonight and you have guests, we want to say thank you so much for promoting this. We are going to have this every single Tuesday night. Keep your link because we've already got it scheduled. It's going to be at the same link. We're going to have different guest speakers. We're not going to ask Danny to come back and do another 3 a.m. for us, although he would. We're not going to do that. Thank you so much, Danny. Everybody, if you would unmute and just everybody tell Danny, thank you so much. So
Bye
he
bye, everyone. And congratulations to all those first bronze, silver, gold, platinum executives, diamonds, directors in the company. It's amazing what happened in only a few days. See you soon.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you,
Bye,
Angel.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good night,
Danny.
everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Angel. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Angel.
you.